Hey guys, I'm Sid,
I'm Ariel.
and welcome to
It's worth a laugh. Hey, dog.
Whoa. Guys, I'm so excited right now. You don't even know. You don't even know.
If the quality looks better,
I
it's
hope it
because
does.
Sydney got a toy today.
I did.
She got her. You know what? Take it away.
Okay, well, for those who know me pretty well, a lot of times when we go on vacations and stuff, I love making like a vacation video.
Yes, and if you haven't seen any of those or the proposal video, I would go over to Sydney's channel. We can
Yeah, go check
link
that
it
out.
in the
Maybe I
show
should
notes.
upload them onto the It's Worth a Laugh channel too.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll try to do that. But you also can just look me up on YouTube. It's my maiden name though, so it's Sydney Letters, not Woodworth. But you can go check me out on YouTube and you'll see all
Maiden
of them.
name. Oh.
They're also on our Facebook, on our It's Worth a Laugh
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah.
So either way, to get to the point there. And the camera that I've been using is very old. Don't get me wrong, it gets the trick done. And I've had it for years on years. It was my mom's camera. I technically have two. One is like super, super old. And then I have another one. They both were my mom's. She doesn't use them anymore. So I kind of stole them. And, but I've always wanted a DCLR camera that has the little screen that like flips out. So that way when it's facing me, I can see myself. Partly because it just makes, like, when I'm filming myself, makes it a million times easier. And when I'm doing like a B-roll type shot, I can like flip it up at the right angle and it just makes it a million times easier. And it's cool. And my camera was just like super duper old. And you know, I've been looking for one for a while. Ariel has even tried like buying me one for my birthday and for Christmas, but normally they're like $600 plus. It's expensive, especially
For the exact one she wanted.
for like, yeah, the one that I've had my eyes set on for a really long time. And
Can't tell. That's the one she got.
well, the other day, I'm not even joking, because, and I don't even think you know this, but I was researching other cameras because this one was just so expensive.
Hmm.
So I was
I
trying
didn't
to
know you were
see.
looking at other cameras.
Yeah, well, because I
I
was,
know you wanted cameras, and like I would check Facebook Marketplace all the time
yeah.
and just like look and see if I could find, I guess, one similar to the one that you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't have to be like necessarily the one you wanted, but I don't know
Well,
much
because
about
we've been
cameras.
filming a lot more lately. I mean, especially the podcast, and I've been getting really frustrated because, like, just the 2024 part one to this episode, part one, the footage was lost because my old camera shit the bed halfway through. The camera died. It was a whole mess. And then we've been using my cell phone, which is fine. But then part one of 2024, my phone died halfway through, or at some point within our hour long recording. So that footage was lost. So last week's episode had no video, just the audio, which is fine. It's not the end of the world. Just annoying. So I was like kind of getting annoyed with it. When we did Vlogmas, it was like a pain of having to always either like airdrop stuff to Ariel's Mac or try to upload it to the Google Drive, but then it would take up all the storage and we wouldn't have enough and I'd have to do it in like sections and it got a little frustrating. So I was like, it'd be so much easier if we could just do it on a camera, have an SD card, and then I could upload it onto my PC. Because you can't even really do a SD card on Mac without an adapter and all of that. Totally fine, we can do it. It's just frustrating. So I was like, all right, let me see if I can find a different camera because the one that I really want, is super expensive, probably out of my league. I'm like scrolling through Facebook. I'm cuddling with Arrow on the couch, right? I'm scrolling through Facebook, looking at other cameras. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, my dream camera pops up at an insanely good price.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Half.
more than half of
Yeah.
what typically, even the ones that were on like Facebook Marketplace were
Mm-hmm.
way more expensive than that. And on top of that, I made an offer for even less, and the lady took it.
Mm-hmm.
The one, like, one of the reasons that it was cheaper though is because it was just the body. But I have lenses. I don't need a new lens. I just need
Mm-hmm.
the new camera. And so earlier today we met a lady at Shaw's, and I bought it. and now I have like basically my dream camera, and I'm so freaking excited. We had no intentions of planning this episode tonight, but I was just so excited, and I can see myself, and dude, you can see it has autofocus, so it's like I can see every once in a while it adjusts, which hopefully that's not annoying. I can turn it off, if for some reason it seems weird next week. But okay, now that I got my excited jitters out, we can hop into part 2 of 2024 recap.
Makes you feel any better. Her rambles are not just on here.
Dude, I'm excited.
I'm not putting down your excitement. I
I'm
know
so
that you're
excited.
excited. Trust me. I went into Shaw's because we needed something for dinner.
Yeah.
And I come out.
Kind of worked out. She wanted me to show us.
Yeah. I came out and she's looking down at her crotch with a huge
I didn't even know
smile.
Ariel was there.
I was like, get out of the car. Let me drive.
Yeah, so she drove. I mean, it was only 20 minutes, but she drove home, and I got to mess around with the camera for a little bit while she drove. I stupidly didn't bring the lens with me, so I couldn't actually like play with it that much. But as soon as I got home,
That was the first thing she did.
yeah. So I'm very excited. If you couldn't tell, I'm literally, if you're not watching the video portion, I am actually grinning. Like I just can't stop smiling because I'm so happy. Oh, I'm so excited. I mean, a good amount of stuff we'll probably still do on our phones, like a lot of TikToks and stuff. But as far as the podcast goes, and then like if we do something like Vlogmas again, that'll probably be on the camera just because it's so much footage and stuff, or a mix of both too. So today's episode, now that we've rambled for 5 minutes, we are. I'm sorry, I'm excited.
Now that we've rambled?
Yes, I'm sorry. Also, Ariel called me by my name today.
I did.
She called me Sydney for whatever reason. I don't even remember why.
I don't remember what it was.
And we do not call each other our names.
No.
Although we do when we're filming.
Yeah.
But that's just because we're like
Or like
stuff.
gaming or stuff like that.
Yeah.
We don't. But in like everyday life, it's not.
No.
No.
And I don't even remember.
I don't know what it was.
And so I started calling her by her name, and she hated it. Just as payback.
I don't know what it was.
I don't know. And then you stole my Fruit Loops.
Oh, you commented on my parking job.
Oh yeah.
And I said, thanks a lot, Sydney.
Yeah, because her parking job was god awful.
I can't fucking see the lines out there.
I know it is covered in snow. But either way, okay. So if you haven't listened to last week's episode, we did a recap of the first half of 2024, which was a wicked packed 6 months. Now we are going to be doing the second half of 2024. And there is a lot of stuff that happened in this last
See, but I almost feel like it's less.
Well, it's going to be less in the sense of that we already talked about a lot of this on
so
the
like,
podcast.
It's really just kind of like going over
It's going to be like a recap.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to kind of reflect on it all together as we go through, because even in the beginning, like there were some things that I didn't need to necessarily put in this for the recap, but I didn't want the end half to be completely full and the first half to be really empty. This is actually like a decent amount of like actual fun things that we did. It wasn't just like, I don't know, I can't think of the topic off my head, but
we'll start with July.
Yes.
So the first thing we did in July, which is always the first thing that we do in July, is the Cape trip. So we did the Cape trip, and I love the Cape trip. Yeah.
It's a staple for my family, and obviously has grown into a staple for you as well. And it also always just has this special moment, which I think we've talked about pretty much anytime we talk about the Cape, but like the Cape has such a special place for me, and it was the first place that I took Ariel on like a family vacation type situation.
Yep.
And it will always have a special place in our heart, but it's just crazy to look back. Like,
I know.
It's one of these things now that not only does my family get to do every year, but especially now that we're married. Like,
I know.
It just makes it that much more special. Like, I cannot wait till we have kids and we get to bring them down to the Cape and like show them all the crazy stuff and like all the fun things. And this is where mom and mom watched the sunrise for the first time together.
I could
and like
potentially be pregnant by the next time we're in the Cape. Not this next time.
Well, the
next time we're in the Cape.
Yeah. Which is also crazy.
I know. Or we could have a baby.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Yes.
Wild.
We still don't know what that process is.
No.
Like, it's in the works, but
no.
One of the really cool things about this year's Cape trip was the fact that we got to see El King again.
Yes.
Which was so much fun.
And everybody else enjoyed it too.
Yeah, even those who like really
don't like country music
or didn't know her. Like,
right.
And everyone had fun. Like Emma hates country music and she had fun.
Yeah. She's like she is country but not twang kind of country.
Right. She's not like, get on the pickup truck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's not like I'm gonna listen to her strum her guitar for 45 minutes at me.
But
So
at the same time, like, she plays the banjo,
no,
like, in
but
some of her songs.
but it's like
She's a
an
performer,
electric.
too.
Yeah.
Like, she's not the venue we were at was wicked cool, too. Like, the stage spun, which is, like, just a unique venue in general, but she's there to have a good time and party just as much as everybody else is, and just, like, hang out and jam out to some cool music. She's just the one singing it, pretty much.
Mhm.
But it was super fun, and that was like night one of the Cape trip, so it kicked it off to such a fun start. It was a very different Cape year than some of our past years. It was very chill. We hung out
Mhm.
at our Airbnb a decent amount. We had decent weather though. That was
Yeah.
um,
We got super tan. I tried really
yeah.
hard not to get tan lines because I didn't want tan lines for the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up getting tan lines. Sid ended up getting an awful sunburn
I
on
did
her
get really
back.
sunburnt.
Um,
Yeah.
to the point where like it was a clear outline of where her bathing suit was tied.
Yeah. The problem with that was because I had to work a tiny bit while I was down there, and I was just laying in the sun on my computer, and everybody was tanning with me even though I was working, and they all flipped onto their back so their stomach was up, but I was still working, so I obviously couldn't flip onto my back. Otherwise, I mean, I could have put my computer on my stomach, but that would have
Yeah.
been an even worse tan line, and I wasn't really thinking that much, and so I ended up basically tanning my back twice, which in turn made an awful sunburn, and my front side was just completely
Completely
pale.
white. There was a line.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was not the best, but nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. We left the Cape trip early.
No, we were supposed to, but then they pushed
Oh, but then
their
they had to
wedding a
push
week.
their wedding a week. Yes.
So like mid-July, we
Yeah.
had Shy and Alex's wedding.
Which was a blast.
That was a blast. And there was a crazy thing that happened on our drive to the wedding. You
Oh
want
my
to tell
gosh.
that story?
So me, Sid, and Michaela all went out to go get a drink before the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
We're all dressed up, so obviously we're going somewhere. We go to this bar, whatever, we have the drink, we cash out, and we leave. On the way to the venue.
From the bar to the venue was maybe a 10-minute drive, if that. Should also preface that.
So me and Michaela are singing Taylor Swift in the back. Or in the front.
Yeah.
And
I'm dying in the back
yeah.
because I hate Taylor Swift.
Yes. So we're singing and we're like, who's afraid of little old me?
I'm
And all
probably
of
on
a
my
sudden,
phone or something.
oh yeah, and all of a sudden I see this car pull out in front of this other one, and Michaela lays on her horn, and I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna work. And so both of us and all of a sudden they just like smash into each other.
Yeah.
So we pull up, and Michaela was in a car accident not too long, a couple years ago, right?
Yeah. She was before us though.
Was that before us?
I think so. I think she was before us. I think we were a little after her.
Oh, wow. So it's been that long already?
Yeah.
I thought she was after us.
Maybe.
I don't know. Either way.
I just remember the reason that makes me think that it was before that is because I remember me and you were not together at the time when Michaela called me saying she was in an accident. I was in New Ipswich and you were not, which makes me think that it was before that because I would have had to have been in school for us to really be separated like that.
True. Okay, so
Doesn't really matter that
no,
much for the story, but
it does not. So obviously the cars collide.
Mhm.
Michaela pulls up and puts the car in park, but completely freezes.
Because at that time we were really the only car that witnessed it.
So I told Sid, I was like, you go check on this car, I'll check on this car. And
it felt like a movie. I felt like we watch a lot of 911 and The Rookie, and it was just so funny. Michaela froze; she had no idea what to do.
Yeah.
Ariel and I are we snapped into as if we were
no,
police
literally
officers, and we were like, "You take car one, I'll take car two."
I was I went straight into ER mode. I'm like,
yeah,
here we go.
I just went into
Sid's I don't even know what to look for.
I just went into true. No, I did good. I went over. You tell what your car was, and then I'll tell my car.
So I walk up to the car, and there's 2 ladies in it.
And your car was the one that was hit.
Yes. So there was an elderly lady in the passenger seat, and then there was her daughter in the other seat. The daughter comes out, and
by daughter, the daughter was probably in her 50s.
Yeah. So
that also shows.
I asked the daughter, I'm like, "Are you okay?" did you hit your head, whatever. So then I go to the grandmother because I just want to double check and want to spend more time on her or the mom than I do the daughter. So I
Partly because
obviously,
she's older and her
yeah,
door was hit. The
yeah.
passenger door was hit.
So I flung open the door or whatever, and she had like a gash on her arm. I was like, "Did you hit your head?" I'm like, does your neck hurt? Can you move? Are you good?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm good." And she had like a gash on her arm. And I was like, "Are you on blood thinners? Do I need to wrap it now? Do I need to, like, are you okay in the moment?" I was like, "I probably have something in the car that you can apply pressure with." And she's like, "I'm okay for now." And I was like, "Okay." So Michaela finally gets out of the car.
Yeah.
And I said, "Michaela, can you call 911?" She goes, "Yes." So then she's like, "Where's my phone?" I'm like,
Yeah, to preface as well, I noticed that Michaela had froze so much, so as I'm running across the street to go check on my car, I'm calling 911
yeah,
because you would think you check car,
yeah,
1, I check car 2, and Michaela calls 911. That
yeah,
did not happen. I ended up having to call 911 and check on the
yeah.
car.
I was like, "Somebody will call 911. I just want to like
I
double
was
check."
on it, don't worry.
I was like, "I just want to make sure that nobody's like bleeding out.
Well, and to be fair too, like, I knew we had a wedding to get to, so I was like,
This has
"We
got to
don't
be quick."
never mind, like, the other people who are injured." I'm like, "We don't have time to
Right,
spare. We
right,
need cops and ambulances here, like, ASAP, so that way we can dip."
right. So like now I'm just sitting here. Michaela's standing there with me. I'm with the other two people, and I'm just like constantly checking on the lady. I'm like, "Are you okay? No dizziness? No, are you feeling tired?" Like, I just want to be sure that there's no chance of her being seriously injured to the point where like something's going to happen or she's going to
That we
go
need to, like,
in,
take her out of the car and
right,
do, like
go into cardiac arrest or do something like that. So I'm like,
right.
I just want to be 100% sure that you're like good. And she's like, "Yep, yep,
They
I'm
were in
good."
good spirits, though.
They
It was
were.
super nice.
They were.
So,
She told me, she goes, "I guess I get a new car now." I was like,
I don't think it
"Yeah."
was totaled, though,
No, no.
because it was almost identical to the hit that we had,
Yep.
but theirs was to the back of the car a few inches. Ours
Yeah.
hit our
Our
wheel and
our
the
wheel.
door,
Yeah.
which is what messed up the frame.
Yeah.
So I run over to my car. I have to run across the street. To preface kind of what the accident was, it was a T intersection,
Mhm.
and Ariel's car was driving on the main road, and my car, for whatever reason, just decided to pull out like
Yep.
and hit the car. He
And
was
the
at
other
the he
car,
was at a stop sign.
right. And the other car tried to swerve to avoid
Yeah,
it. The guy just was like not paying
paying attention.
attention.
He just pulled out and clearly hit the car. So I run over there, and it's a dude, probably like either late 20s or early 30s. Definitely,
Oh, he was that young?
yeah, definitely
Mm,
older than us, but not by a lot.
not by a lot.
And so I go over there. Obviously, the first thing I do is I ask if he's like okay or anything, and I could tell he was nervous. He was like shaken up, and I'm also like low key on the phone with 911, so I'm like trying to make sure he's okay and give the 911 operators all the information. I'm not from this town. They're trying to ask me like I'm
Where
like,
are
listen,
you?
this is the two streets I see and a number. She knew where I was,
Mhm.
thankfully. But my main thing is I wanted to make sure he wasn't like drunk or anything because it was
No,
so
literally.
weird how
Yeah.
the accident happened. Like it was 110% his fault, and he just
Mhm.
either was not paying attention or there was another aspect involved that we didn't know about. But he just seemed really nervous, and he either whacked his head or his chest on the steering wheel. I don't remember. He Something was hurting him because he hit
Mhm.
the steering wheel and his airbag
Didn't
didn't go
go
off.
off.
But otherwise he was pretty much fine. There was a bunch of debris in the road. So I ended up like once I knew that he was okay and 911 was all set, I could hear sirens at that point, so they told me I could hang up. So I was grabbing debris out of the road to try and help like the traffic
Yeah,
go by
go
and
because
stuff
it
like
was
that.
like it was backing up quite a bit.
Um and then I mean that was pretty much it.
Mhm.
The cops came, ambulances came, they checked on them, and
Yeah, I was like, just so you know, this car, she said she didn't hit her head. She said her neck doesn't hurt. She has no dizziness, no nothing like that. I was like, she has a small gash on her left arm. She said she's not on any blood thinners and didn't want it wrapped.
yeah.
And he was like, just do my job for me. I said, have a good night.
And then I was talking to a different cop, and I was like, "This is what happened or whatever." I'm like, "Not to be a wicked pain." I'm like, "But we have a
Right, we have a
wedding
wedding.
in like 25 to 30 minutes, however much time we had."
It was not a lot of time.
It was not. I mean, thankfully we wanted to get there early
Hmm.
anyways, but now obviously that amount of early time was
Right.
slowly
Limited.
diminishing. And I was like, the 911 operators have all my information. I'm like, do you need a statement from us or
Right.
anything, or are we free to go? And he's like, as long as 911 took your number, then you guys are all set. Everything seems okay. And I was like, perfect, thank you. Peace out.
Goodbye.
Now, and our adrenaline at this point was on a fucking high. We're
Dude,
driving to the
we
venue.
get back in the
like,
car and we're
we're
like,
saviors. I like remember texting your dad,
yeah.
and I was like, I used my
my ride-alonger
my
status.
ride-alonger status because I have an inside joke with her dad, because I did a ride-along with him once, and so now anytime like I joke if I get pulled over, if I do anything, I say I'm like a certified ride-alonger.
She does not actually say that to the cops,
I
just
do,
so you know.
I do not. Like,
I
if,
don't I don't feel as if a cop would think that was funny.
you know,
I feel like if it was like a cop like my dad,
right, I feel like
he
I
would
could
get it,
feel the vibe.
yeah. The guy who pulled us over in like when I got my ticket,
No.
God no, he would have arrested us.
He would, yeah. He would have taken that into like that would have been reported in his little report. Like,
no, it would have been like she's impersonating a cop. Like,
right, I would. He would have found a way to ticket me
no,
too.
exactly.
But like, yeah, if it was someone like your dad or
No,
even
yeah.
like, I don't know, just like some of the cops we know,
You
like
can,
I
like,
totally could get away with
yeah.
doing something like that. Or like,
if you got pulled over in like Lancaster, you can be like, I'm the chief's certified ride-alonger.
well, like even if we had more time, because the cop that I talked to was pretty nice, and like obviously there wasn't any serious injuries or anything like that. Like if he had complimented me, kind of how he said something like, "Oh, you just need your job for me," that would have been my time to be like, "Yeah, you know, I did ride along once," and just to see like, you know, time and place.
Yeah,
I feel like I could read that line.
Yeah.
So
so good.
But then Shy and Alex's wedding was super fun.
It was.
And
gorgeous.
It
was
was
super gorgeous. They got incredibly lucky, so it rained all day. It was on and off rain.
Yeah, and while we were at the bar getting a drink, it was downpouring.
Yeah.
But thankfully when the car accident happened, it didn't.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden it
Can
just
you imagine we had to show up to the wedding soaking wet?
No, literally. All of a sudden it just cleared up and it was clear the rest of the night.
Yeah, so they were able to do the wedding outside and stuff. And one of the guests who Aaron and I did not know a lot of people there in general, but someone who we did not know apparently was a few cars behind us when the accident happened, and they saw us run out.
Well, and they thought we were in the accident. They're like, that's commitment if you got into an accident and you're still here.
Right, and we're
like,
no.
Nope, just hopped out of the car and helped. And
yeah. But yeah, that was wicked funny and fun. And because of the wedding, we shared a room with Michaela and Chris at a random hotel close by, because the wedding was down in Mass. We live in New Hampshire. The last thing you want to do after a wedding, especially Shy and Alex's, is drive back home, because we knew. Oh, that was the other thing. I was pissed. We all had a buzz at the bar because of the accident.
We lost
all
our buzz.
completely lost it, and I could not.
Me either.
Feel anything.
And I was sucking them back.
I was too.
And I just couldn't get my buzz anymore.
I was like so sad.
Yeah.
But either way, the next morning after the wedding, the plan was for us to all go to Marshfield and hang out with Chris for a tiny bit at his cottage that he has down there, which turned into us booking a fishing trip for the next day. So I had some work I had to do, so we went back to New Hampshire for a tiny bit. Michaela had some stuff to do too. We did whatever the heck we had to do, and then later that night at like 8 or 9 p.m., drove down to Michaela's house, spent the night, and went fishing the next morning, which was so much fun. I enjoyed blast.
It. I just got incredibly seasick.
Yeah. Like
super seasick. And I ended up throwing up. And then after that, I was fine.
Yeah, you were fine after that.
Yeah.
I had a blast. We caught a bunch of fish, and
yeah, I have a cute picture of you holding a fish.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. And then soon after that, a few weeks, we had our bridal shower, which is like crazy to even think about.
I know.
Which was actually so much fun. I was super nervous.
A blast.
Me too. I was super nervous just because like I don't like attention, and it was kind of like a practice for the wedding, in a way, but like on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
I remember on the because I drove there, so I knew I couldn't drink, but in the parking lot, I had brought a bottle of Di Serono, and I had taken
She was like swigging it.
I took like 2 or 3 big swigs just to like give me a little bit of liquid courage before we walked in there, which thankfully helped. But it was super fun. Our moms both planned it. I think we've talked about it on the podcast a tiny bit already.
We have, yeah.
But it was so much fun. It was so beautiful, and we really enjoyed it. On top of that, we went camping that weekend with like my mom, my sister, Amy, Callie, Heather,
Casey.
Casey, Diane, my grandma Tina. There was like a smaller group of
Yeah.
us that went camping, like 15, and by camping we were in cabins, let me
Yeah.
preface. And it was super fun because like obviously like your family wasn't there, but it was a fun way to like they made like the whole weekend kind of about us, and it was a lot of fun.
I'll have to send Sid the picture of Casey laying in. I went to the bathroom
Oh, I have the photo.
and I came out, and all of a sudden Casey is in bed with Sydney, and I'm like,
Yeah,
what the
well,
fuck?
because it was kind of cold, and she was waiting for the bathroom because Ariel was in there, so she hopped in bed and got under the sleeping bag, and also because we thought it was funny for Ariel to come out and just me and Casey's like eyes be peeking out
Yeah.
of the. But that was a super fun weekend.
Yeah, it was.
Now I'll hop into August. We won't go into crazy detail because there's literally like 4 fucking episodes on
No,
this.
a lot,
But we went to Seattle and Alaska.
which was incredible.
It's a trip that we will never forget, never stop talking about. I
Mm-hmm.
think we find a way to reference it in probably every other episode.
Yeah.
But so much fun. So we won't go into depth on that. The
Yeah.
only thing that I will say about it is that trip made us so excited for the wedding. I
Mm-hmm.
never knew that a vacation trip would get me pumped for our wedding,
No, me
which is
either.
like so weird. But with the group that we had,
We had a
the amount of
blast.
like dancing and low key partying that we
Mm-hmm.
had in a way was just so
It was a lot of
much
fun.
fun, and I will never forget that trip.
Me either.
That also kind of was not about the trip, but we knew that once we got back, it was like
It was
full blown.
full wedding time.
Yep, wedding prep was in full swing.
Yep. It was nonstop.
We had slowly done stuff after the Cape trip.
Yeah.
Like July was kind of a slow-ish time when we started getting in stuff.
But then we realized our wedding is in a month.
Yeah.
So we went head over heels. We're like busting stuff out, putting stuff in bins,
Mm-hmm.
like organizing them by table numbers, by rooms, like my room or Sydney's room,
Mm-hmm.
by bathrooms. Like we had everything organized and ready to go. Honestly, like a month before the wedding. Probably 3 weeks before the wedding. We were like
Yeah.
almost ready to go.
It was one of those things where like everything was at the very least started. Like
Mm-hmm.
nothing still had to be completely done. A lot of things were like halfway done, 3/4 of the way done. It was done, but it needed to be brought to my mom's house.
Mm-hmm.
Or, half of it was all done, but half of it was at our apartment and half of it was at my mom's
Right.
house.
So we literally just brought it all to Liz's and then organized all of it.
Yeah, that happened like literally a week before the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
But we also got our marriage license in August.
Yes, we did.
Which was super fun. And I can't remember if we talked about this, but it was a super cute moment. But we got there like 5 minutes before the town office closed because we had to go down to Mass
Mm-hmm.
to do it. And the lady was like, she was actually super nice
She
to
was.
us. And she like, when we said that we were here for a marriage license, she like looked at the clock or like looked at our watch. Like, okay, we do close in 5 minutes. And we're like, I know, I'm so sorry. We came from New Hampshire after work and we hit more traffic than we thought. Like which was the truth.
Yeah.
But we genuinely were just like, we don't really have much time, but we promise
Right.
that we will go as fast as possible.
Yes.
And so she was super nice to us. She gave us all the paperwork. We sat down and
Somebody else walked in and they're like, "Hi, can I do this?" She goes, "We're closed." I was like,
she did that to like 2 or 3 people. And one lady was like, can you just answer a question for me then? And she did answer the question, but like one guy wanted to fill out a form. She told him
Mhm.
no. Like
Yep.
it was kind of funny. But then that also made us feel
We were her last customer for the day.
yeah, and it made us feel bad too because like she clearly wanted to go home and like
Right. But she
didn't-
was just like at the end of it, she was super cute. She's like, "Congratulations." Like,
yeah,
so that was a really good experience
yeah, it
signing
was.
up for a marriage license.
And of course, since we were down in Mass in the town that we were getting married, we did another cute date
Of
night.
course. A month before our wedding.
Yeah.
And just went and looked around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Got kind of like a layout of the land.
Yeah, because at that point, like we had some photos
Mhm.
from doing our like initial
Tour,
walkthrough
yeah.
tour thing, but we hadn't really been back to
Mm.
look at the spaces again. And we knew, like, at this point, we had some measurements of all the things that we actually had,
Mhm.
and we just wanted to figure out a game plan a tiny bit. So,
Yep.
that was really nice. It got us extra excited.
Yes.
Um,
I did.
and then we have a crazy thing, which I think we also talked about on the
We
podcast.
did talk about it. So we'll just remind you, because if you haven't listened to that episode, I don't know which one it was. So there was a shooting and a stabbing in our apartment. I will
which is
go.
just crazy.
Yeah.
Like our apartment building, because
Yeah.
there's a bunch of buildings
Hmm.
within our apartment complex. We're building. I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
the number.
Can you not?
There's like, I know. I realized after.
I'm like,
I'm gonna
just give it to him.
I'm gonna take that part
You
out.
might as well just tell him what apartment number
No,
we are.
there's over 30 buildings in
There is.
our
Yeah.
apartment complex,
Yeah.
and I mean Manchester itself is huge. So for it to happen, not only in all of Manchester,
Hmm.
all of our apartment complex, but our very building.
Well, we pulled up and I was like, what the fuck's happening in the building next to us? And all of a sudden I was like, that is not the building. That is our building. I was like,
Yeah,
shit.
we had just come from my mom's house.
Like doing wedding stuff, like crime scene tape, all this stuff. And I was like, no, what the fuck? So
Yeah.
we sat outside for a really long time waiting to be able to be let into our apartment.
We're also nosy as hell.
Yes.
So like we're trying to figure out between like gossip on the street and trying to like eavesdrop on the cops and all of this stuff. From the day that it happened, the only thing that we knew was that there was either a stabbing and or a shooting. Some people claimed they heard gunshots, but it was never like truly confirmed. Something There was a chance that there were brothers involved, but then there was also a chance that it was a girlfriend and a boyfriend and that it wasn't brothers. At one point people thought somebody died. Other people thought that they didn't die. We had no It was like there was a lot of conspiracy going around. We do have a little bit of an update because we didn't even know this at the time that we told the story on the recording.
Mm-hmm.
They posted something like a few days later, like Manchester PD. But
Mm-hmm.
then we also have just figured out through multiple people what had actually kind of happened. Do you want to tell them what happened?
So there two brothers lived in our apartment complex. One lived in our apartment building. The other one lived down the road.
In the same complex, but not the same building.
Anyway, we're already this far into the story.
I won't say we're in Manchester then. I think we're fine.
We're fine. Don't come for us. I'm armed.
It's legal in New Hampshire.
It's legal. It's legal. But I am. And I am not afraid. I am very afraid. Actually, let me rephrase. Okay. Anyway, what was I going to say?
You're telling what happened.
So one of the brothers drank an entire, like, edible drink. Not like the edible drinks, but like the weed drinks.
Yeah.
Drank one of those and, like, went out of his mind, I guess. And starts, like, threatening the girlfriend and all this stuff. And ends up killing their dog. And
Which is really sad.
Very sad. And then the brother was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, trying to stop him. Well, then he got stabbed. And then the brother shot the other brother.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I remember.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's...
I think that's the gist of the story.
Yeah, there is more, but I can't remember it all completely off of the top of my head. But
I know that some of them are posting as if nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
And that that's just like an everyday occurrence is shooting your brother.
I don't know.
Not for me, but
no.
But we get back into the apartment and Sydney is literally opening the door to listen to what the cops are saying.
Yeah, because
she's going from our deck to the door, back to the deck, then again to the door.
Yeah, well, I'm nosy, and
Very.
If you couldn't tell from our car accident, I mean, like, I like to be involved.
Right.
It was
and then the very next day, we packed up and left for Labor Day camping.
Yeah, that was one of the annoying parts of the story. Was the reason that we were coming back is because we had not packed at all, and we were going tent camping the next day. It would be one thing if we just had to like pack a duffel bag, but we had so much stuff. Tent camping, you need to be like prepared for. Yeah, we ended up packing up and going camping because it was Labor Day weekend.
Yep.
Which that was a super fun trip. We do that pretty much
every
year as well. That's kind of one of our other traditions that we have, which leads us into September, this is like, I mean,
this is the one we really can just like, I hate to say it because like it's super exciting, but this is the one that we can just like truly and genuinely just skim over because I mean we've done
episodes on all of this.
We've done all of it. So we did the final walkthrough of our venue. We saw everything like up in depth. We got to talk to our wedding coordinator and really just see how everything was going to run.
Yeah, and answer a lot of questions that we had, even down to like for those who were at the wedding or saw photos and stuff. we had a champagne wall, and that was
Mm-hmm.
our seating chart. And
We're like, how tall are your ceilings? Like, are
we
we
had to
even?
measure the ceilings. I ended up
Yeah.
actually having to cut off a few
Yeah.
inches to make it fit inside the
Mm-hmm.
venue, which thankfully ended up working out and
Yeah.
everything. But it was stupid small questions like that,
Yeah.
but it was
Uh,
super exciting.
yeah. We did the final run through with hair and makeup with Emma and CJ.
That was fun. They came over, hung out,
Mm-hmm.
and
That was nice.
we practiced a bunch of stuff, which I think I had talked about this, but Emma did my hair and CJ obviously did my makeup. And when Emma was doing the run through for my hair,
Oh yeah, it was too long. So like there were these hairs just like sticking out. So Sydney just goes, cut my hair.
yeah, well, because we both grew out our hair for the
Yeah.
wedding, because I wanted, I always have my hair long, so I wanted to make sure that it was long enough for my personal
Mm-hmm.
liking, but also like I knew that I wanted to do an updo of some kind, and I even remember like in prom and stuff, they the hairdressers always loved how long my hair was because it
Mm-hmm.
gave them so many more options
Yeah.
because it was just so long. So I was like, I'm not gonna cut it until the wedding, so that way we have more options.
Yeah.
And I mean, Emma's obviously not a professional, but she did
She did
fantastic.
fantastic. I'm
And
super impressed with the way
um,
Emma did it.
the way that she was doing it, she tried it like 3 or 4 times, and there was always the same like last 2 or 3 inches that she just could not figure out
Right.
how to get it
Incorporate it.
without it looking like super stupid.
Yep.
So I was like, listen, you've done it 3 or 4 times now. Let's just cut it off.
Yep.
And so literally like a week before the wedding,
Yep.
I
We
had Ariel cut
cut off 2 or 3 inches of
of
her
my
hair.
hair.
And then she cut off more the day of the wedding.
Yeah,
Right?
only like a teeny tiny bit. Basically, Emma did my hair, and there was like this tiny little piece sticking out, or she like missed a small piece of my baby hairs or something, and I was like, just cut it. I'm like, we're not doing it again. Just
Right.
I don't even care. So
This
yeah.
was this was the night that I figured out the exact way I wanted CJ to do my makeup.
hmm
He had brought me to Sephora and I had picked out all of my wedding makeup. All of it.
hmm
Um
CJ helped me pick out mine too, but mine
yep.
was just from Target
Yeah.
because that's all I needed.
Yeah. So I was like, perfect. So if you see my wedding makeup, that was done by CJ.
hmm
And
He did
he did
fantastic.
amazing. I loved my wedding makeup.
You
And I
look
still
fantastic.
look at the pictures and I'm like, wow,
Oh,
that
I know.
was
He
incredible.
killed it for me too because
Yep.
I don't like wearing makeup, and
Mhm.
but I knew that I wanted to look good for the wedding.
Yep.
And like I didn't want to look washed out, and like not that I have like acne or anything, but like my face doesn't always
You got your little freckles.
right. My face doesn't always look the
Yeah.
best sometimes, especially like with a lot of flash and stuff like that. So I was like,
Yep.
and you're tan and I'm pale, so I was like, even something to make me just a tiny bit
Yeah.
tanner. Like I want to look good. So, and CJ only had to practice my makeup once,
I know.
and
He had it down.
he killed it. I was like, this
Yep.
is perfect. If you can do
This
even,
exact thing, even lighter.
yeah, I was like,
Like, yeah,
this is perfect.
he did fantastic.
Another fun thing, which I think we've talked about, but
Mhm.
Ray was our ring security, and we knew that we wanted him to get all dressed up and cute. We also kind of wanted to have a special moment with Ray and take him out, and we got to pick out his outfit. And one of my favorite things to do with Ray is play dress up with him,
Mhm.
anyways. So it was super fun to be able to play dress up with him for the wedding.
I agree.
We just took him to the mall. We took him to like
Yeah.
Macy's and J.C. Penney, and
But he looked so cute.
he did look so cute. It was so fun.
Um then I went and got my Oh, we both did,
Yeah, we
actually.
both did.
We made an appointment to go get our nails done saying that it was going to be our wedding nails. We show up to the nail place and they have
It was
a
so
cute little
sweet.
sign that says congrats Ariel and Sydney. And it was super
We walked and
cute.
we're like, oh my god, this sign is adorable. We're taking photos of
I
it.
know. All of a sudden she brings out champagne. I'm like,
I was like, okay,
"Oh,
we take
okay."
more photos.
Yeah. And all of a sudden she brings out chocolate covered strawberries. I'm like,
We take more
"What the
photos.
fuck?" And then all of a sudden she brings out chip and dip.
Yeah,
I'm
like
like,
this 3-tier.
"Yeah."
It's
I'm
almost for
like,
like a dessert type thing, but
"What
it had
the
like
heck is
chips
happening
and
here?"
grapes, and it was so freaking cute. Like every time we took a photo, she brought out something new.
Mhm.
And yeah, you got your toes and your hands done. I just got my hands done. My mom met us there, my sister met us there, and Jordan met us there as well.
Mhm.
So it was super fun. We all got to. Oh, and we got our eyebrows waxed.
Yes.
That was a must for me. I was like,
Mhm.
I'm not going to our wedding and not having my eyebrows done.
Yeah. Well, CJ asked me when he was doing I do not wax my eyebrows very often. It's like a once in a blue moon kind of thing. Normally I just have Sydney like take care of them. Um, but he goes, "You're going to have your eyebrows waxed for the wedding, right?" I was like, "I am now."
It was a must for me.
Yeah. Then we did the rehearsal dinner. The rehearsal dinner was the day before the wedding.
Yep.
And it was so nice having everybody there. Then we went out for drinks after, or we went to go get ice cream.
Yeah, we went to
And
Kimball's.
a lot of people came to Kimball's. Then we wanted drinks. So then we
Tried to go to
we
B-Dubs.
tried to go to Buffalo Wild Wings. And there was like a 45-minute wait.
Yeah,
And
because a part of the problem was we couldn't go to like a bar
Mhm.
because we had some people who were under 21.
Yeah.
So we knew it had to be like
Yeah.
a restaurant that we could get
Mhm.
drinks at, cheap drinks.
So I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a blast. So then we go to Applebee's.
Mm-hmm.
And Applebee's happened to have their buckets.
Yes.
And I was like, give me one of those. I think I drank 2 of those. One of my
The
white
sangria
peach
things, that's what I
sangrias.
drank.
And I mean, Kenzie was there, Casey was there, Emmy and Thomas, Cam, Shy and Alex, Tristan, like, or no, did Tristan go?
I think he may have gone to Kimball's, but I don't think he went to
Yeah.
Applebee's.
So it was just a blast.
It was a blast. It was
a
so
blast.
fun. And like obviously we were pumped because the wedding was the next day. The vibes were just at like an all-time high.
Mm-hmm.
The next
And Olivia went. I forgot Olivia.
Yes. And the next day obviously was our wedding.
Yes, which was fantastic. Go listen to those episodes because if we get talking about the wedding, we won't stop talking about the wedding. Same with the next one.
Right. The only thing that I want to talk about our wedding day, just as like a funny thing because you need to go listen to that episode. But the morning of our wedding,
Oh my god.
Ariel and I wanted to do some special vows because we knew our vows like during our ceremony were going to be pretty short. And we're both kind of sappy and we like to write each other like love notes and stuff. So we each came up with like a longer version of our vows that we were going to do special, just the two of us, the morning of our wedding. And Shy and Alex were going to drive all the way back to Mass and then back to their house and then to the venue, which is like an hour and a half away.
Right. We were like, don't do that.
So they ended up spending the night at our Airbnb with us. And so the morning of, we're like, let's just go outside and we'll do it out there. Shy took a photo of us before we went out to do it. And we went to the bathroom. She played the dun, 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 dun. It was a kind of funny memory. But fast forward.
She's like, you're getting married.
The funny part to this whole thing, which is very just us, it's so fitting. We're on the deck about to read each other our vows. It's supposed to be this like magical moment. And this freaking lady, the house next door, and they're maybe like 25, 30 feet away from each other, comes out onto her deck. We're like holding hands about to read vows, right? And
she comes out and rings his bells like ding-a-ling-ling. We're like,
and then goes out onto her dock, which is on the water, starts playing like hippie gypsy music, and just starts doing yoga poses like out of the blue.
But did like 2 or 3, and then went back inside
and rang the bell.
Yeah.
It was so funny. I don't know if she caught on the vibe or like what. But
no, literally, because I'm over here
she
sobbing
did wave
and I make
to us.
direct eye contact with her as I'm like sobbing as Sid's reading her vows. I'm like, great.
It was so funny. Like, and I knew that if I was gonna cry on the wedding day, that was probably gonna be the moment. And that was just out of the window because I couldn't stop laughing and thinking about the fucking yoga lady.
Yeah.
Like 10 feet away from us. It was so funny. That whole episode that we did on the wedding was obviously fantastic. We go into way more depth on all of it. Go listen to that. Same thing, obviously, our honeymoon. Go in, that has like 2 or 3 episodes. So go listen to all of that on its own. We don't have to go into it other than the fact that we went to Italy and Greece. So much fun. Wish we could be back.
Me too.
We had the time of our lives.
So we'll go into October. This is also included in our honeymoon because it was technically the end of the honeymoon episode. We went to Zach and Holly's wedding because they got married 2 weeks after we did. And that was beautiful. Their wedding was gorgeous. And the weather was nice, which was nice to come back to.
Right.
Not directly into the cold of
New England.
Then Sid did her Boo Basket scavenger hunt for me.
Yep.
Which was a lot of fun. She made puzzle pieces and did like little clues, which was nice.
That's on our TikTok. It's actually pinned. So if you want to go watch that, the scavenger hunt for the Boo Basket, you can just head over to our TikTok and it's pinned on our top 3.
Then we went apple picking with Casey and Olivia.
That was fun.
Casey and Sid got on a tractor and took pictures of each other.
Casey was dragging me around in the
Yeah.
little red wagon.
Yep. We got our preview photos.
Oh, yeah, we got that on Halloween. We got
Yeah.
our preview photos.
Which was incredible.
Yeah.
And we were super excited and loved each and every one of them. And now that we have all thousands of our pictures, oh, I love them all so much. They came out so good.
I catch myself looking at them like
all the time.
all the time.
Yeah. Then we did Halloween with Ray. This year we went as Dora in Boots. That's
Yes.
also on our TikTok.
I don't think it's pinned, but it's on our TikTok, yeah.
Ray went as, what was he this year?
Scooby-Doo.
Oh, duh. Scooby-Doo. Emma and Aiden were
Wreck-It Ralph and
oh yes, Vanellope and Ralph, which was cute. That was a lot of fun. So then we're going to November.
We hosted a Halloween party at our apartment.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. We had a bunch of
just like a little mix of everybody.
Yeah, we had like your work friends. We had some of
your
Emma's friends, my friends. It was a lot of fun.
It was.
We did I had made a scavenger hunt for us to do around
Manchester, and
we were all dressed up in costumes, and like it was November. It wasn't October. I mean, obviously, Halloween's the last day of October.
It was like November 2nd, and we're like running around, and I'm dressed up as one half of a scissor.
Yeah.
And she's the other, and I'm like.
And we were on the same team.
Yeah. It was so much fun, though.
It was so much fun. We had basically there was a bunch of different stuff that was worth a bunch of different points depending. Yeah, if you're watching the video, my camera died and the spare battery isn't charged because I just got it. So, we're now filming the rest on Ariel's phone, but we only have November and December left. But to hop back in, basically a bunch of different tasks were worth a bunch of different points. We had an hour to try and get as many things done. We had 3 teams, and it was super fun. Like some of the tasks was like you got 15 points if you took a team selfie of you in a grocery cart, which was a controversial one.
It was.
One of them was getting like a Burger King crown. A business card was worth like 5 points. Climbing a tree was worth a couple amount of points. That one was funny. Selfie with a Walmart employee. There was a bunch of fun, stupid tasks that everybody had to do. They were all hilarious.
Yeah.
Almost all of them either involved like collecting an item and bringing it back. We had like trick or treat buckets for each team, or it was like a video or a selfie for the team, and it was so fun. And then we had Thanksgiving was November. Normally we travel for Thanksgiving, but Ariel had to work, and so instead we did Thanksgiving, just the 2 of us.
I know.
It was kind of special though.
I liked it. It was nice.
Yeah, and then we also decorated for Christmas that night.
Yes, we did because I made sure Sydney let me.
Yes. I made turkey dinner for us, and we kind of just hung out for a bit. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. So we'll go right into December. We'll get this done. Oliver is banging at the door.
Yeah, he's trying to get in.
So then we started Vlogmas,
which was so much fun.
It was fun.
I'm so glad we did it. We have to do it again next year. You know that, right?
Right.
Did you not enjoy it?
So then we...
Did you not enjoy it?
You enjoy those things more than I do. We don't have to enjoy the same things. I'll do it again next year because you enjoy it, but we don't have to enjoy the same things. Okay. I'm not a...
So when you want me to hang out with your friends, we don't have to enjoy the same thing? Peep to last part 1. Wait, you set me up for that.
Just for that, she's going.
We'll see.
No, there is no we'll see. She's going.
I really enjoyed Vlogmas. I thought it was a lot of fun. And I feel like a lot of other people really enjoyed it. Like, people would text us and be like, where's the episode? Or,
right.
Like, when we were together, they'd be like, are you filming today? Like,
right.
I want to be on Vlogmas or whatever.
Yeah. Then we babysat Jade, which was
my God.
so fun. She's getting, honestly, even now, she's getting so big.
I know.
Oh.
She just got her big girl car seat today.
I know.
Not the newborn one anymore.
I know.
I mean, it's still like...
but still, she's...
It's not like
she's getting
seat,
big.
But...
She's getting big. And she's pulling herself up on her own. She's like...
crawling around like crazy.
She is so fast.
Yeah.
So fast. And she's so talkative. She's just like constantly babbling, constantly making noise. Ooh, she's so cute.
Yeah, and that was really the first time that we like truly babysat.
Yeah.
we've almost always either Coda's been there
Hmm.
or your mom has been there.
I
Not
know.
that like
My sister's like talking to my mom. She goes, "Does she even know how to change a diaper?" And my mom goes, "Ariel knows how to change a diaper."
yeah.
So we had gone over
I
the
also
night
think that it
before.
made Coda feel a little bit better that we were like low key vlogging
Mm-hmm.
because then she could like
He like see everything we did that day and
yeah,
being like, if I'm gonna let these bitches babysit again.
right. No,
Um,
but we had so
so
much
much fun.
fun.
I love her,
Oh, I want to
and I
do it
could spend
again.
every waking moment with her
Yeah.
and be happy.
Mhm.
Oh, which makes me excited for us to have kids.
Yep. Uh,
Uh, then Ray slept over again.
yeah, that was super fun. We had him
Yeah.
over. Um,
We didn't really do a lot. It was really just like hanging out with him,
yeah,
but
we
he had a
took him
blast.
shopping. He came Christmas shopping with
Yep.
us. We made some of his favorite dinners.
I took him to McDonald's on the last day.
Yeah, I had to work
Yeah.
while he was here and stuff, so we didn't really have that much time to like do an activity or anything with him. Like
Hmm.
normally we try to take him to a hockey game or a baseball game or whatever, but we just didn't have the time to do
And
it.
just know each one of these is on
All of our vlogmases,
TikTok.
yeah, for this December month for
Yeah.
sure.
We started streaming again.
Yeah,
I streamed when we lived in our first apartment and I loved it. But then we moved out and we moved to her dad's and it wasn't as easy to stream. His Wi-Fi was not the best.
yeah,
So when we moved into the new apartment, I had said something about potentially wanting to stream again. So now we're in like full swing of streaming. We take breaks every now and then. Like tonight was gonna be a streaming night, but then we recorded a podcast because someone got excited for her camera.
yeah. No
Um,
shame. But
then
I had never streamed before. Like obviously I did
mhm,
it with her, and because it kind of got to a point where it's like, well, if she's gonna stream, then I might as well stream at the same
mhm,
time. So I made one under the It's Worth a Laugh platform, so you can follow us on Twitch. I just got accepted to stream on TikTok too, I think,
yes.
which hopefully I should have that set up and that I actually got approved because the TikTok live platform is kind of confusing. So hopefully that is actually the case that I can stream on
Did
there
you
as well.
apply?
I mean, I didn't apply, but
You have to apply.
I set up the account, but
Yeah,
it
you have to apply.
I'd like kind of applied. I think I don't know. We're gonna.
Kind of applied.
That's what I mean. Like I don't know if what I did
Right.
actually means that I get to stream on TikTok or
Mm.
if it doesn't. So we'll find out.
We filmed our first podcast video
Yeah,
on our
it
couch.
was kind of hell.
It was hell.
Obviously
It
now
was.
it's not. We've
Right.
figured
We
out
figured out.
a system.
Yeah, it was hell. And to the point where like we contemplated if we were even going to continue to video.
Yeah, I like was ready to rage quit.
Yeah.
I had never
Um,
had so many technical issues.
yeah, she was just not having it.
And then of course I wasn't in like a good headspace when we actually were recording.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of
Yeah.
carried that episode,
Yeah.
thankfully, because
Yeah. She was not
I could
having
only
it.
fake it so much.
Yeah. Then we did Christmas with my family, which was really nice.
Yeah, it was fun too because baby Jade's like
Jade's,
first,
yeah,
like,
gifts,
her
opening, like,
first Christmas gift that she ever opened in her entire life was from us.
mm-hmm. That was a lot of fun. We got a lot of nice stuff. I got my Owala, which I use every day.
We still need to throw out those water bottles.
I need to throw
You've
out
been,
5.
yep, you've been keeping that under the radar, huh?
I don't care. Get me another Owala. I'll throw the whole thing out.
I'm not doing that.
They have a Disney collection right now.
I'm not getting you
I'll buy my own, bitch. Then we did Christmas with Sid's family, which was also really nice.
Yeah.
Doing Christmas with Sid's family, we have an episode on Christmas. You can listen to that.
another.
It's wild.
It's a marathon.
It's like so much. So
To
much.
recap, we did
We
me
did
and you.
Christmas here in the morning. Then we shot down to your dad's for 8 o'clock. Then we went to her mom's for it was supposed to be 11.
Yeah, but I think
We
it was
got
11:30.
11:30. Then at 1,
Yep.
we headed down to Billerica
Yep.
to her aunt's to do Christmas there. Then we sat there for a long time, and Jim unfortunately had gotten sick, so we couldn't go to Pepperell to go to her grandparents' house. So we felt bad about running out on her dad. So then we went all the way back to New Ipswich, had dinner with him, and then came all the way back home.
Yeah, it was a long day,
It
but
was a long day, and
was
I
a
had to
fun
work
day.
the next one. Then we did Jordan's birthday.
Yeah, that was super fun.
That was fun, and I got her. We had gotten her almost the exact same water bottle that I have of all the national parks because she's super super into that. And the funniest thing is that she had brought out a book that she had
Literally,
just bought
when
of
we first got there.
of all the national parks.
And she was so excited to show
Yes.
us.
So we were like, we knew we hit the jackpot with that water
Yeah,
bottle.
like a part of me when she brought out that book wanted to give her gift right
Immediately.
then and
Yeah.
there, just to like really hammer it
Yeah.
home. But we waited until everybody did gifts.
Then we did New Year's Eve with Michaela and Jordan.
Yeah.
And that consisted of us sitting there watching Wicked. And then we put on the ball drop and just really powered through till.
No, we actually, because then we played
Oh
games
yeah, we
after the ball
played
drop. We
games
stayed up
after.
until
I
1:30 or
forgot.
2. I was not expecting that.
I forgot. Yeah. We
Because
did play
normally
games.
we like
Yeah.
that group usually just like
We're
crashes.
I know. Midnight's gonna hit. We're good night.
Yeah, I was actually pretty shocked. It was a really chill night. Like we literally just hung out, we ate some food, gossiped, and
And the next day,
watched
I know
Wicked.
it's technically this year, but the next day was a fantastic rot day.
Yeah,
We took a nap
on our couch.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
It was.
I don't think we've had such a good rot day since. I want another rot day.
Yeah, but
we
like,
have had rot days. Don't
but
get me wrong. They just haven't been like
you also got to realize like we're in bed by like 9:30, 10, so it's hard to rot when you go to bed.
Yeah.
At that early.
But to be fair, I have to get up super early.
No, I know. I'm just
And
saying,
on the
like,
weekends, I do stay up later. I like push myself to stay up later on the weekends because for a while, it was me on the weekends still going to bed at 9:30, and I was like, this is not feasible.
It's hard to rot when you get home at like 3:30, 4 o'clock, and then you're in bed 4 to 5 hours after.
No, I know.
So,
yeah,
and include dinner. But yeah, I mean, 2024 was an insane year.
I think 2024 was the best year we've ever had.
Yeah,
at least for me personally.
Well, it had like such the perfect mix of everything. Like the beginning of the year was just like so much fun. We had the Disney trip.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of like memories because we were living with my dad at the time. But then come April, we had our own place, and at that point, that's when we met Casey. Like it's crazy to think that
we have only known Casey since April.
Yeah, and like she has become such a big part of our lives. I mean, shit, she was in your wedding, and
right.
Like, then
you just know when you meet the people that are like meant to be there.
Yeah.
So it's like we met Casey, and she immediately was just like,
she's like family now.
Yeah, she just came in and never left.
Yeah, it also helps because we don't
know anybody here, or at least I didn't.
Yeah, now we do.
Yeah.
Casey was really our first.
Now I'm more than willing to go out and meet new people.
Fuck off. Casey was our first friend that we had because, I mean,
I met her at work.
Yeah.
I just happened to be put in the exact. Oh, Oliver is sick of waiting.
Yep, he just opened the door. He knows how to open doors now.
I was just luckily put into a classroom that I had met Casey, and don't get me wrong, being in the school that we were in before, if you know Casey is loud. Loud and proud. I would have known Casey in no time.
That is true.
So,
but being in the same classroom got you like even closer.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think I'd been in the classroom a week when Casey came over for the first time. And
yeah, how did that even, why did she come over?
She needed help with her assignment, right?
No, I don't think we would have helped her with that. Would have been weird. Imagine
too early.
Like you just met somebody and be like, hey, I need your wife to help me with your assignment.
Yeah, no.
Or at that time, I guess we were fiancés, but still.
What was it? She came over for something.
I don't know. We'll have to ask Casey and see if she remembers.
Here he comes.
Hi, buddy.
You get your butthole out of the camera, too.
Stop touching the mic.
Oh, here comes the other one.
Yep. Here they both come.
Hi, old man.
Oh, stop touching the mic. All right, let's wrap this up because otherwise these boys are going to be, stop touching the mic, bro. Either way, 2024.
He has something he has to say.
No, he doesn't.
Say it loud and proud, buddy.
Just knocked over the mic. Bro, stop.
Ollie, what do you got to say?
Dude, he's rubbing all over this mic.
Tell him how you really feel, buddy. Go.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Why are you rubbing on literally every crevice of the mic?
Boy. So, this year was fantastic. We had an amazing year, and I'm ready to make this year just as great.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be just as great because
how can you top the
wedding? Right.
Like,
so
that is just crazy. I mean, and the bridal, there was so much stuff that was.
We have a couple trips planned this year. Nothing crazy like last year.
Well, Yellowstone's gonna be
Yellowstone is going to be
big, and
big.
my sister's turning 21 this
Mhm.
year, and we plan to go to Vegas for
Yeah.
that. So that'll be super fun.
Yeah, so
That'll
we just-
probably have a video with my new camera.
So we just have the Cape and Yellowstone this year.
Yeah.
So
in Vegas, but that's kind of one trip.
maybe a trip down to Disney, but we'll keep that to ourselves.
We
Just maybe even just a trip down to Florida. Something. I'm itching to get on an airplane. Anyway, so
keep dreaming, love.
I am not dreaming because she's going to wake up one morning and there's going to be money out of our bank account because I booked a flight.
You better not do that.
Be more adventurous.
Get out of here.
You got distracted by the
I
cat.
did. We are very thankful for everything that also happened on this platform in 2024. We got 1,000 plays at the towards the very end of 2024, which is like crazy achievement, and I can't wait to see what this year brings. I guess is
yeah. You tell them, Ollie.
apologies.
Me
All
either.
you can hear
Nope,
right
nope,
now is
don't like that.
Oliver rubbing up against Ariel's mic as we're trying to close this out.
All right, so we'll close it out real quick. We hope this episode, there was some parts in here where we did laugh, but it's really just a recap of the year. We'll be back to normal content next week anyway.
Yeah, these episodes are obviously for you guys, but like it's something that we're gonna love to be able to look back on, years from now, and be able to kind of reflect on, our years as a whole, and kind of just like run through some of these milestones that we have. And
don't bat at.
All right. With that being said, don't forget to follow us on all of our social media accounts at It's Worth a Laugh on pretty much everything. If you can't find us on that platform with that username, then we're not on it. And we plan to stream this week at some point, hopefully, so don't forget to follow us on there. And I hope everyone loves my new camera as much as I do. Hopefully it came out good. I guess we'll find out.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Goof out. Bye.
Ollie, you got anything else to say? That's a good one. I liked that advice.